Welcome to Moody Talk Sports. Sorry we're a day late on our top 10s. I'm going to dive right into it. I've been just battling the sickness, and I was out all day yesterday, and I was thinking about actually skipping this week, but I don't want to do that because a lot of you viewed the top 10s last week. A lot of you really enjoyed it. I don't want to skip out on you, so I'm just going to try to push through this the best I can, so please bear with me. The voice is still kind of raspy, okay? So first, we're going to start with the top 10 college teams. There was a lot of really exciting college games over the weekend. I did a recap of those kind of briefly. If you didn't see that video, you can search for it on the channel. It was the last video I did. But here are the top teams going into this next week. At number 10, I have Georgia. And Georgia is one of those teams where, look, it ain't pretty. I mean, really, it ain't pretty at all. They win in really not flashy fashion, I mean, they beat Tennessee. I didn't really think they should have, but they somehow squeaked out a win. Tennessee played a little conservative. Then they played Auburn last week. I thought Auburn was going to keep it a little closer, but they just kind of find ways to win. And while they're figuring it out and still getting, everybody on the same page, they're winning, and that's all that matters. So absolutely they deserve a spot in the top 10. Number 9 is Notre Dame, and Notre Dame's an interesting team because going into the year, I loved them. I wanted to pick them for everything. I love the run they did last year. I love their coach. I love their everything about them I really love. But they played 2 really tough games to begin the season. I mean, 2 really tough games. Miami, and then there was another tough one. Ever since then, they've been blowing teams out, winning by 20, 25, 30, you name it. And at this point, they're a good team. And there's going to be a couple of games that really define them going forward. But right now, I like where they're at. I think they just played a really tough first couple of games, and I don't think they were as buttoned up yet. I think they were still trying to figure it out. And so I love what they're doing. I think they deserve a spot in the top 10. At number 8, we have Tennessee. Tennessee continues to win really kind of ugly, to be honest with you. There's a lot of games I feel like Tennessee should just be blowing people out, and they don't. They should have won that game against Georgia. They just kind of laid down and thought, okay, we're 10 points up. Let's just run, punt the ball. Well, they lost. And so I think they're learning that, no, we got to play to the end of the whistle. So I think Tennessee's a great team. I think they're still trying to tighten up the screws. I think they've got most of it figured out. But I think they're a great team. I think they're an 8 spot. Right now, at least. We'll see. Number 7, we have Ole Miss. Ole Miss is another team that, again, I'm just waiting. I've said this every week until now. I'm impressed with them, but I just haven't seen that game that makes it click in my head where I go, oh, okay, no, they're a legit threat. They're a legit contender. I haven't seen that yet, and until I do, I'm just going to keep them around the 7th spot. They're a good team. I love what they're doing this year, but I got to have that game that's a statement game that really tells me, okay, yep, this is for real. Like, they're actually going to contend for a championship. Number 6, we have Alabama, and look, Alabama had that week 1 flounder, which at this point, week one is whatever, right? Because your new team, transfers, college, NIL, there's a lot of stuff that happens. I get it. And so they played Florida State. Florida State kind of upset them a little bit. I think they underestimated Florida State. Ever since then, they've been perfect. They've played really tough games against Mizzou, who I think is still really good. They've played, Auburn. They played a bunch of really good teams. They played Georgia, and they've just won. And so they're a great team. And honestly, if they continue the trajectory they're on, they're going to be legit, which kind of pains me to say, but I mean, they're going to be legit for sure. Number 5, we have Texas Tech. I love what their offense is doing. Every week they seem to blow another team out, and they're just exciting to watch. It doesn't always, they're not always on the same page at the right time. Sometimes it takes them a quarter. Sometimes it takes them a half. But when they get going, they're not stoppable. I mean, you can't stop them. You just can't. When they figure it out and they click and they go, okay, this is what we need to do, look out. It's insane. Number 4, we have Texas A&M. Great team, continues to put up incredible wins. They fight to the finish. They're a good team. They're a good football team. That's all there is to it. I love what they're doing, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I can't wait for playoff time because I think they're going to be one of those teams that is kind of sneaky, where I think they get underestimated. I think they get bet against. I think they pull up an upset or two. So we'll see. I think they could go really far. That's awesome. Number 3, I have Ohio State. I know that's going to trigger some people. Look, Ohio State, I'm pretty sure they're awesome at this point. I know they're very good. I know they're excellent even. But as far as being the top, I just haven't seen a game from them yet where I'm like, okay, yep, no, this team's far better than everybody else. There's a few other publications and podcasts and stuff I see where they talk about just how amazing Ohio State is and how no one's even close. I just haven't seen that yet. And until I do, I have them in the top 3. I think they're a contender. I think they could win the championship, of course. But there's 2 other teams I have in the top 3, which, as you notice, Oregon got kicked out, which pained me. It pained me. I have them at 11, but it pained me. Number 2, we have the Indiana Hoosiers, and I just love what they're doing. I'm rooting for them. Maybe there's a little personal bias in here. They are blowing out teams at just an insane level. What they did going into Eugene and beating Oregon was absolutely bonkers. And the other thing is, they've played a couple teams that Ohio State has played, and Indiana blew those teams out. Illinois is the one that comes to mind. You know, when Indiana played Illinois, I think the final score was 63-7 or something like that. It was a complete blowout. Ohio State played Illinois, really well and, kind of blew them out as well, but not to that degree. So I do give Indiana just the slight spot, but going forward, who knows? Indiana's going to have to earn it. Indiana has some really good games going forward. I'm rooting for them. I would love to see them make it all the way. Number 1, we have the University of Miami, of course, the Hurricanes. The problem is I just haven't seen much weaknesses on Miami at the moment. Carson Beck continues to improve. They continue to get better. I'm pretty sure they didn't play this week. They've got, a lot of tough games going forward. They got a tough schedule, but the reality is that they're an amazing team, and I think that the majority of their hardest games have already been played. So going forward, I think that they could win out, absolutely. They'll get the number 1 seed, and it goes from there. All right, well, that is the top 10 when it comes to college. If you like this top 10, I do these every week. I do it a little bit differently than other people do. I also do a top 10 when it comes to NFL players, as far as your quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, and just top 10 NFL teams. Be sure to check the channel for those videos as well. They all come out usually around the same time.